What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Anime Hero back at it again, and this time now if you were paying attention to your sub feed you would see that I already uploaded a video today of my review of Final Fantasy 15. Links in the description to go check out that video. But also today, if you're a big Kingdom Hearts fan, you would know new Kingdom Hearts trailer dropped. Big Hero 6. Now, I wasn't recording a reaction for you, but reactions are kind of hard for me to review and do nowadays. So instead, I watched the trailer, and in my trusty little notebook here, I wrote down a bunch of notes about the trailer. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to share my thoughts, and I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. All that jazz, and without further ado, let's get started. So you guys are going to probably see me glance down at the notebook a lot, just, get quick reactions of my notes. I didn't do like a scene by scene, so not everything I talk about isn't going to be all that was there, but it was just what I thought was important enough for me to jot down a little note about. So let's get started. So when the trailer opens up, we got a bunch of flying machine Heartless. Very mechanical. And I wonder if they're unique to this world, because things like, they could be from a world like Toy Story. You can imagine something mechanical, maybe something like that. But I do think that it is unique. These are Heartless that are unique to Big Hero 6's world. And I wonder if you can hop to them. In a previous trailer for Pirates, we could see Sora hopping in the sky, Heartless to Heartless, like a shot lock command. So, I wonder if that's something you can do to all Heartless, or if that was unique to that fight, because he hopped to a bunch of Heartless to then get on the back of a boss Heartless in a boss fight. So I wonder if that was just for that fight, or if that was a unique ability that Sora has. Now, Big Hero 6, the team, were already fighting when Sora first gets there. We see Go-Go go flying past Sora. So they were already fighting. Now, I wonder if that means that the Heartless have been there that entire time. They've been there for a while. Or if they've just as Sora is getting there, the Heartless have also just gotten there, Who knows? Because there's things like Toy Story where they've been there for a while. Things like Pirates, which is a returning world, so they're already used to the Heartless. And then there are maybe things like what it looks like it is with Rapunzel, that the Heartless are just new, just now showing up. Hero asks, after Go-Go goes flying by, Hero comes, he introduced Baymax and himself, and he asked Sora for help. Very interesting that he was so willing to take help from Sora. He didn't really question it or anything. It was very, very interesting. Because things like Toy Story, they were really looked like they were kind of suspicious of Sora, Donald, and Goofy until they saw them fight the Heartless. Maybe Sora was fighting Heartless before Hero and Baymax came to introduce themselves, so they saw him fighting. I don't know. We didn't see that. We saw Go-Go get knocked behind them, and then Hero came over to try to see if she was okay, and then from what we saw, that was the sequence of events. We didn't see anything else. All the Big Hero 6 members are shown. We see Baymax, we see Hero, we see Go-Go, Fred, Honey Lemon, and Wasabi. In the scene where they show Fred, however, it shows this weird tendril attack from the Nanomites that seems very, very similar to the villain of Big Hero 6, for those who have seen the movie. Kind of makes me wonder if he's going to make a return, especially with the next fact of Randall. We see Randall in Monsters, Inc.'s world. And the question then becomes, is Randall working with Vanitas? Because if each world is supposed to be the length of 0.2 a fragmented passage, which is like 3 or 4 hours. Or 2 to 3 hours, my bad. It's 2 to 3 hours. So would they try to bog down the world by having 2 plots going on? Randall trying to expose them, and Vanitas trying to do his evil plan for the organization? You wouldn't think so. You would think that if they're going to show a villain like Randall, he's going to have some connection to the plot of that world, And if you're going to show Vegeta's, he's going to have a connection to the plot of that world. So are they working independently, and are they working together? And if they're working together, does that mean other villains from other worlds are going to be seen like that, working with the organization members? Mother Gothel and Marluxia, maybe. But yeah, the villain for Big Hero 6. You wondering, is he working with Organization 13? And on that note, who is the organization member assigned to Big Hero 6's world? For every other world we've seen so far, there is an organization, there's at least one organization member assigned to it. Olympus has Xigbar. Tangled has Marluxia. Frozen has Larxene. Toy Story has Young Master Xehanort. And Pirates has Luxord. Now we see Big Hero 6, but no organization member associated with it. Is it a member we haven't seen yet? Is it maybe somebody like Demyx? Or maybe it's Saïx, but if it was Saïx, why wouldn't we... Actually, now that I mention that, we haven't seen Saïx in any of these trailers, to my knowledge. If I can recall correctly, we have not seen Saïx in any of these trailers so far. Maybe it's Saïx that has Big Hero 6's world. Maybe it's somebody like Demyx. We don't know if he's going to be returning. Or Vexen, or Ienzo, or... Well, no, because we've seen Zexion, and he was helping Sora with the data world, trying to get Roxas back. So, it's a safe bet that Zexion / Ienzo is a good guy, again. Like Axel or Lee. So, can we say the same thing about Xaldin, or Vexen, or Lexaeus? Have they come back and realized how wrong they were? I mean, I couldn't see somebody like Xaldin, who was one of the higher-up members of Organization 13, automatically turning good again. I mean, I know Zexion was, too, but it always seemed like Zexion was more in the business of trying to get a heart. He was under the impression that he didn't have a heart, and he needed a heart, rather than Xaldin, who seemed very similar to Xigbar, as he enjoyed doing his job as an organization member. We get the first close-up look of Marluxia's nobodies, as people pointed out that they had Scythe. I guess they had Scythe in the previous trailer where we saw Sora fighting them. I never slowed it down and zoomed in to see, but now in this cutscene we do see them up close to see that they're holding scythes. And Sora tells Flynn to take Rapunzel away. So what I believe the sequence of events that happens with this cutscene is Flynn takes Rapunzel away from there. Sora, Donald, and Goofy fight these nobodies. And then we get the scene from a previous trailer where Marluxia shows up. I believe that's how the sequence of events goes down. Especially because in that other trailer, we do see that Sora has a Keyblade, his Keyblade that disappears, I believe we see that. I'm not sure now that I'm thinking about it. But I'm pretty sure that's how it was. In the Toy Story world, my Young Master Xehanort, it shows the gang, Sora, Donald, Goofy, Woody, Buzz, and all the other toys. And Young Master Xehanort says, "I'm afraid I can't let you leave, I still have more to observe." Where were they leaving to? Were they just leaving the toy store? Or the section of the toy store they were in? Or were they trying to leave the world? Maybe they rescued the toys and they were like, alright, it's time to leave. But that was a very weird set to say, especially in this trailer, because it's very obvious this is a shorter trailer. Because, the entire trailer, you have the theme song Don't Think Twice playing. Every other trailer we've seen, that's the back half of the trailer. The first half has no music, we get to see action, and we also get to see some cutscenes, and then it transitions to Don't Think Twice, in these softer scenes. So this is only half the trailer, so maybe we'll get some more context on what he meant by that. So the Big Hero 6 Keyblade looks amazing, I love it, looks really good, which is kind of, because I really haven't been digging all the new Keyblades we've seen. Olympus's looks nice, not a fan of Toy Stories. Not a fan of... not a fan of Toy Story. Not a fan. kind of a good fan of Olympus. Tangled is a bit iffy for me. Because I really don't like Frozen, but I like Frozen's Keyblade. I like Pirate's Keyblade, and Big Hero 6 isn't iffy for me. I don't like it as much as I like Pirates or Frozen's, but I don't dislike it the same way I dislike Toy Story. So it's kind of in between. Moving on, we see the Drive Form Nano Arms, which is very interesting. You know, we get the nanomites that Sora could use as a fight, and for shot locks, we see that. That was very interesting, that they decided to incorporate one aspect of the world into a drive form for Sora, which we haven't really seen before. You know, we see, like, yo-yos for Monsters, Inc., you know, yo-yos in Monsters, Inc., right? Or, Toy Story has, like, toy hammers and drills and things, but again, not... You know, they didn't incorporate, like, the Martians in Sora's shot lock, or Zurg or Buzz Lightyear's laser for, like, his shot lock. So with that we've seen, obviously. We haven't seen any other shot lock. But it was very interesting they decided to showcase that. I thought it was very interesting. So now we move on to the gummies. We see more references to, Final Fantasy, which is great. In a game that's supposed to be a combination of Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy in general, and Disney, it seems recently that Final Fantasy's kind of gotten shafted in all of the things. They've been really cucked in the most recent things. It seems everything's like, oh, Disney, look at Disney, oh, pretty Disney. But you gotta remember there are Final Fantasy fans, and they've really not liked the representation they've got. I've heard some Final Fantasy fans complain about that the characters aren't really themselves, which I don't agree with, personally. I mean, I think it's all a matter of opinion. Cloud McAnk's pants. But I love the way Squall is, especially because Squall is one of my favorite Disney characters. Squall's one of my favorite Final Fantasy characters. So I really am hoping people like Noctis and Lightning in particular. I'm really hoping they make it. At least them. I would love for the entire bro gang of party members, including Noctis, to be in the game. But as long as Noctis makes it, I think I'd be okay. As long as Lightning was there, I'd really like that too. There'd be a lot of other Final Fantasy 13 characters I'd want to see too. People like Snow and things like that. But, you know, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to these quick flash cutscenes. And the first one the first one of note. There was a bunch of these, but there's only really 3 that I thought were worth talking about. Because, I mean, there was one with, like, Vanitas inside what looked like the Chamber of Awakening. The Chamber of Awakening. But it went by really fast, and all he did was have his hand on his chin like this. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure if it really meant anything yet. Maybe we'll see more of it later. But the first thing we see is Vanitas and Ansem in frame, as Vanitas is expositing to Sora. People are like, oh, look at the Rocky. It's like, where is this taking place? It's Rocky in the background. Is it the Keyblade Graveyard? Maybe. But my theory is that it might be maybe at Olympus. Maybe at the beginning of the game, because Vanitas is talking about how your heart will go through, something like your heart will go through battles with darkness, something like that. Very like, what's the word I'm looking for here? It seemed like he was telling him of things to come. He was like, you'll have trials, we'll see if you can really, if you're the one that we're looking for. It seemed more like an opening, beginning thing than an end game, final monologue. And I don't think, because the way Tetsuya Nomura has been hyping up that end game, for it to be the Keyblade, because there's another scene too where they're like, it's Rocky, it looks like they're in the Keyblade Graveyard, but I don't know if they show that, because I don't know if it's the Keyblade Graveyard at all. Keyblade Graveyard is very endgame-y. I don't see something that happens in the beginning of the game or the middle of the game. If you're going to have the Keyblade Graveyard, then I feel like that's more endgame. And I feel like he's not going to show anything from the endgame. He's been hyping it up. He's saying, yo, the endgame of this game is what I've wanted to do for a while, so I don't think, if the Keyblade Graveyard's there, if Keyblade Graveyard's there, it's in the endgame, and if it's in the endgame, I don't think we saw it in this trailer. Now, there's another scene of a figure taking off their hood. Immediately, people that I've seen have been saying, "Oh, that's Xion. It looks like Xion's been Norded." But is it Xion though? The first time I saw the trailer, all the flashes went by, so I didn't really catch it. I watched it again, and I just thought it was Young Master Xehanort. It looked enough in that flash to be like, "Oh, that's Young Master Xehanort." Maybe they were like, "Oh, feminine features," and I was like, "Does she though?" I remember Xion had a very pointed jawline. It was very sharp. It was a very sharp jawline. The chin was one of the pointiest chins in the game. That's not even saying just the DS, the DS's sprite. Even in the frickin' the cinematic and the new cutscenes, it did seem like she had a very sharp jawline. And this jawline seemed very rounded. Now, you could say the same thing Master Xehanort had a very sharp jawline, but his is more rounded than Xion's is. And the hairstyle. Xion has very, flat hair. With this hair seemed like it kind of spiked up at the back, very similar to Young Master Xehanort's. This is all from memory, too, so I could be slightly incorrect. I could be remembering it wrong, but I just remember thinking it didn't feel like Xion. And maybe, they didn't reveal her face, so they're like, oh, well, obviously then it would be Xion, because if it was Young Master Xehanort, why hide the face? Maybe there was some cutscene, just the cutscene in general does the reveal of Young Master Xehanort, and, you don't see his face at the time. And why Xion is the thing. Because Xion can't look any particular way. The black-haired way that we all know and love was just how Roxas was seeing her, as Sora was interpreting Kairi. Because Axel saw Xion as Roxas, and Xigbar saw Xion as Ventus. So, well, basically Roxas at that point. But she didn't look like any one person, so she was just an empty puppet vessel. If she was Norded, then she would just look like Xehanort. She would just look like Young Master Xehanort. Because she has no appearance. She has no physical appearance. She's just a doll. But that's just my opinion. I'm not here to shoot down anybody else who, oh yeah, it has to be Xion. I'm just saying, I'm really skeptical. And the last thing is about corrupted Aqua. Where so many people are like, oh, Aqua's been Norded. But I'm like, has she though? Tetsuya Nomura talked about how he was surprised that people were surprised by the reveal of Aquanort. And he kind of talked in that interview about how it really heavily implied that instead of Aqua being Norded, that it was mainly just what corruption was like with being in the realm of darkness. So remember, she's been in there for 10 years. So I personally believe that it's more likely that what we're seeing, especially this really heavily applies with how dark her outfit is, her arms, her little skirt dress, and her legs are very dark, but it looks more like she's been corrupted. From the 10 years spent in the realm of darkness, it just more seems like she has been corrupted by it, and the corruption, one of the side effects is just gold eyes, silver hair. That's probably how Xehanort got it, because remember, in the Xehanort reports and Birth by Sleep, they say that he didn't use his Keyblade armor when traveling in the lanes between, and when he was in, I'm assuming, the realm of darkness, he shrouded himself in darkness. So I think it's heavily implied that he was corrupted by the darkness. That's why he got the gold eyes and the silver hair. And that's just, a byproduct being corrupted. So those are my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. As always, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I'll hit you with a new review next Monday, so look forward to that. And as always, stay loyal. That's all I can say, as I appreciate all your views, and I will see you next time.